painting has brought a lot to me in terms of grounding myself, being amongst nature, almost a kind of meditative state that I guess comes with that. I paint oil landscapes that are impressionist, colourist, and I take inspiration from the landscape painting in plein air to create shape, colour, tone, texture on paper, on grounds. I grew up in a very creative household. My dad was an artist, photographer, painter, creative, but he'd had brain tumours for 24 years and died earlier this summer. He taught us that being a creative is an anchor to life. And so finding my painting this year and really using it as a meditative way of being out in the landscape, being with water, has been a really important part of this phase of my life. I use my creative practice, so my painting, as a way to slow down. I have a neurodivergent brain, and it means that I was working very fast, but painting is a way to relax and ground myself and be outside in nature. Sense of place is really important to my painting. The busier a place is, the more it drowns out the kind of distractions of my brain. And so going near the sea, where the sea is moving and can be quite loud and engaging almost, really helps my brain to then drown out that noise and be able to get on with the painting.
My exhibition is going to be called Helena Traill on plein air, and it's a series of paintings painted outside in the landscape. Painting in the landscape means there's distractions, means there's movement, means there's changes in light. Nothing stays the same for more than a split second. And I have interactions with people, interactions with the landscape, even the wind, and yeah, it makes it more exciting.
When I arrive at a landscape, the setting up is really important, and the planning and the kind of immersing myself in that landscape. That's why I normally have a coffee or go and get a cup of tea. Sketching is really important. I find that I'll sit and plan and sketch for almost longer than I'll paint. And so I will really pick up on the tonal values, and then when I get going and I've decided my colours, I get going really fast, and then I paint at pace. I paint intuitively. The quicker ones, the more intuitive ones, they're the ones that have more feeling and I think more texture and more interest to them.
In terms of colouring, I quite like where I brought in the burnt umber and parts. But yeah, it's all, I take it as a learning process. It's an iterative process where each time I try again and see what comes out. I don't think I'm precious about it. I think that's one of my strengths, is that I can just go for it and see what happens and not be too worried. My favourite one's covered in sand now. Oh well.
Trying to have a limited colour palette is another parameter to my painting that means that I don't have to think too much. I moved away from using realist colours. I concentrate on the colour and form of the landscape more, because I'm not worrying about, does it match? You know, is it the right blue? Is it the right turquoise? Because I paint more instinctively, I don't think I can articulate what I'm painting. It comes through kind of a feeling of the place and a feeling of what's going on in my brain that I can't necessarily articulate, and then it's what comes out on the canvas. And I think maybe as I grow into a more established artist and do it for many more years, I'll be able to articulate what that is. But for now, there's something quite nice about that.
That's really nice. I really like that. Happy with that?